it's Dina Calmetti here, and for this next report, I'd like to bring you up to date in regards to some events that have occurred in the last couple of days. And I first would like to talk about China and North Korea. It is being reported that apparently Chinese and North Korean militaries will begin to work together, even amid tensions with the United States. A high-ranking Chinese commander has stated that China and North Korea will boost military cooperation and work together to assure security in the Asia-Pacific. Both China and North Korea view U.S. activities in the region as a threat. Days after North Korea made headlines with fresh missile tests, a delegation from North Korea has met with Chinese officials in Beijing, and it was headed by a high-ranking military official. Quoted by the military after the meeting, the Chinese general who spoke to Kim signaled that Chinese-North Korean military ties only look to strengthen even further, stating that the Chinese People's Liberation Army is ready to work along with North Korea to implement the important consensus which was achieved by the leaders of our nations. He also assured his audience that Beijing is ready to contribute to peace and stability in the region together, and the North Korean leader responded by saying that North Korea is eager to expand military ties and exchange experiences with its larger neighbor. And Sputnik News is reporting that China has warned the United States that they will bear all consequences for selling the F-16 fighters to Taiwan. Earlier, U.S. congressmen from both sides of the aisle praised a proposed deal to sell a fleet of F-16 fighter jets worth $8 billion to Taiwan, justifying the move as a way to give the island a means to deter Beijing. But the Chinese Foreign Ministry has cautioned the U.S. against selling the fighters to Taiwan. China's Foreign Ministry spokeswoman stated that China urges the United States to fully recognize the highly sensitive and harmful nature of the relevant issue, abide by the One China principle, refrain from selling F-16 fighter jets to Taiwan, and stop the arms sales and military contract with Taiwan. She also noted that Beijing would respond to the move and that Washington would have to bear all the consequences. Finally, it reports that previously, the U.S. State Department approved a $2.2 billion in arms sales to Taiwan, including the Abrams tanks and Stinger missiles. Despite Beijing's protests, the State Department has claimed that the deal is meant to promote peace in the region. As to what those consequences are, China did not elaborate, and as of right now, the United States is moving forward with their sale to Taiwan. So we shall definitely wait to see what happens. And as always, I will continue to keep you updated. But I would like to move on and talk about the United States next. It is being reported that apparently the U.S. has tested a cruise missile that was previously banned by the INF Treaty. The U.S. military has tested a ground-launched cruise missile with a range of over 500 kilometers. Such weapons were banned under the INF Treaty. The flight test of a conventionally configured ground-launched cruise missile was conducted on August 18th in San Nicolas Island, California. After its successful launch, the missile struck its target more than 310 miles away. It goes on further to report that American officials have stressed that they do not plan on building a nuclear ground-based cruise missile capability. But the Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, had said his department will fully pursue the development of these ground-launched conventional missiles as a prudent response to Russia's actions and also part of the joint forces' broader portfolio of conventional strike options. In the meantime, The Sun is reporting that the United States is building a robot battleship, and it will be the largest robot warship to patrol the most dangerous seas. The huge ships, referred to as large unmanned service vehicle, would function as scouts for the main battle fleet, carrying radar and sonar as well as anti-air and cruise missiles. Proponents of the ship see the role of the vessels as carrying out 3D work, dirty and dangerous. A draft request for the proposal stated that the LUSV will be a high-endurance, reconfigurable ship able to accommodate various payloads for unmanned missions to augment the nation's manned surface force. And with a large payload capacity, the LUSV will be designed to conduct a variety of warfare operations, independently or in conjunction with manned surface combatants. The LUSV will be capable of semi-autonomous or fully autonomous operation, which operates in the loop, controlling remotely or on the loop. The U.S. Navy hopes to build 2 ships a year over the next 5 years. Each ship would be about 200 to 300 feet in length, with a displacement of about 2,000 tons. The plan is to have the ships as generally unarmed, with the ability to carry missiles if needed. The Pentagon Strategic Capabilities Office originally spearheaded the LUSV under a program called Overlord, which initially tried to convert a fast commercial vessel into an unmanned ship capable of traveling for thousands of miles and weeks. The United States is also acquiring a fleet of unmanned submarines. Finally, it reports that Boeing was paid $35.4 million by the U.S. Navy in February this year for 4 Orca extra-large unmanned undersea vehicles. So definitely some very interesting news there concerning the United States military developments, and I will definitely continue to follow these reports and bring you updates. But I would like to move on and talk about the United States and Russia. As of right now, we are nowhere near a nuclear confrontation, thank goodness. But what were to happen if the United States or Russia or another nuclear power were to fire one of their nuclear missiles? What would that do to our planet? Well, scientists are warning that if that were to occur, a nuclear war would plunge Earth into a 10-year winter, causing plummeting global temperatures and constant darkness. Were the United States and Russia to engage in a full-out atomic warfare, the consequences would plunge the Earth into a 10-year nuclear winter. Fires ignited by nuclear detonations would likely inject around 147 million tons of soot into the air, and winds in the stratosphere would cause these soot aerosols to encircle the entire globe within weeks, plunging the Earth into an enduring nuclear winter. It would also blot out the light of the sun, and the clouds would cause average surface temperatures to drop by almost 16.2 Fahrenheit. The experts predict that it would take around 7 years for the curtain of soot to begin to visibly clear, and 3 more for light to return to normal levels. And in addition to that, the northern polar vortex, the fast-flowing stream of air that circles the North Pole, would be strengthened in the first year after the war, generating above normal but below freezing temperatures in the Arctic. Researchers concluded that a full-scale nuclear attack would be suicidal for the country that decides to carry out such an attack. The use of nuclear weapons in this manner by the United States and Russia would have disastrous consequences globally. Scientists are warning that political decision makers have a full understanding of the climate consequences of nuclear war to inform their actions. Ultimately, the reduction of nuclear arsenals and the eventual disarmament of all nuclear-capable parties is needed. Now, hopefully, a nuclear war will never happen, but there could be no denying that there is definitely an arms race taking place. In fact, many nations throughout the world are gaining more and more nuclear capabilities. Now, we already know about the United States and Russia. In fact, President Trump's administration has proposed an additional $500 billion in spending, including $17 billion for low-yield tactical nuclear weapons that could be used on conventional battlefields. And then, of course, we have China. And like the U.S., China, while historically pledged to a no first use, they still want their potential enemies to believe it may actually use technical nukes. And then, of course, we all know about North Korea, India, and Pakistan. Israel, in the meantime, doesn't really talk about their nukes, But we know that they have them. And we also have Saudi Arabia that's looking to have their own nuke. And of course, there is France and the UK. And last but not least, we already know about Iran's ambitions. So it's only about 9 or 10 nations that actually have nuclear weapons. But it only takes one to cause a disaster and loss of life. So hopefully these leaders will use wisdom and common sense and never resort to using their nuclear weapons. We can only hope. And as always, I will continue to keep you updated. But I'd love to hear from all of you, so please do leave your comments in the comment section. And also, if you have a free moment, come and visit us on Facebook, where we have these stories and many more, as well as our website at www.cww7news.org. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching.
All praise be to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashai, Bahashem Rakakadash, and Abuhana to the elder and apostle of Great Maidstone. Peace, blessing, salutation to the Hakiam pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth. It is your brother Yeshaya coming again with this prophecy. I hope you brothers are edified and got more information about the algorithm of ww3. Amen. I like to prophesize. I think this is my lot, man, and I'm doing the best of my ability to get all the information which come out. Yesterday, I only got the information that America has finally tested the intermediate range ballistic missile, which was banned from the INF treaty, and I have been speaking on that since the inception of that issue. I have been telling you the American military strategy suggested to use tactical nuke. We call them tactical nuke. And this reporter here told you there is such a thing as tactical nuke. And in order for you to use tactical nuke, you need a medium to small range ballistic missile equipped with a nuclear warhead, man. How is this important? This is important because the Americans are preparing for the war with Iran, man, and they know that they will be losing that war, man, because of strategy and how Iran is located, and these different nations in the Middle East. If you didn't know, Iran have been training the Houthi and Hezbollah, and you got Iraq. Iraq has resentment against America. So when the war broke out between America and Iran, all the Arab nations will come to the aid of Iran, man. And that's what the prophecy say, man. If you go to 2nd Ezra 15, you see. So Hezbollah, if you didn't know, Hezbollah won a war between Israel and them, and at that time Hezbollah was just a few people, man. At that time Hezbollah was starting, man. And the Israeli army had advanced military equipment at that time. Hezbollah won that war because of strategy, man. They had better strategies than the Israeli, and the whole world was waiting when that war broke out for the Israeli army to put an end to the Lebanese nation, man. But inside Lebanon, this Hezbollah rose up and say, we go against the Israeli army, man. So I am telling you all of this so that you can have faith, man. This war is about to break out. It is a matter of time, man. You see. So I was talking about this technical nuke, man. When America sees that it's about to lose a war with Iran, they will use the so-called tactical nuke for what we call precision strike. So they will be striking a precision target with this tactical nuke, man. What do you think that will lead, man? That will lead to the unleashing of heavy bomb, man. nuclear bomb with high TNT, you see, or megatons. That's what this is reading. In order for America to use those tactical nuke, that's why they exist. They left the NF treaty. You can't use tactical nuke while you are in that treaty. So they decided to leave that treaty, man. And Russia knows that, man. And believe me, Russia have more tactical nuke than America. This cruise missile, man. You see? And it is getting ugly between China and Taiwan, man. You better believe the Chinese will go to want to take that island forcefully, man. So ww3 when it broke out, it is not only in the Middle East. And this reporter continue to tell you when this nuclear war happened, the world will experience what we call the nuclear winter. Less more than 10 years without rain, and this what we call vortex wind will increase, man. So those people who live in Europe and places like that, many of them will die, man. And that's where Esau dwell, man. So the Lord is a great strategist, man. The Lord is a great strategist, man. You see? And it is about to get ugly, man. It's about to get ugly out here, man. And this nation they will be afraid. They will be afraid. This is Matthew 24, starting at verse 6. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of war. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. For the nation shall rise against nation, and the kingdom against the kingdom, and there shall be famine and pestilence and earthquake in diverse places. All of this at the beginning of sorrow. You see? All of this at the beginning of sorrow, man. You see? All of this at the beginning of sorrow. Let's go and let's see another scriptures, man. This is Joel. I will start at verse 2. Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord comes, for it is nigh at hand. So this is what we are doing, man. We are sounding the alarm in the whole mountain, man. Zion, monumental, man. Telling the nation of Israel there is something spooky coming along the way, man. There is something dangerous coming along the way, man. All of the peoples, the inhabitants of this earth will be put to flight, man. As a matter of fact, the earth will stand still when this ww3 happens, man. Especially when America will be nuked, man. When I say the world will stand still, I don't mean the earth will not be revolving around in its orbit. I am talking about the wisdom of this earth will stand still, man. Because they haven't expected the consequence which will happen, or the consequence which will be coming with that ww3. Let's jump to Joel 3. For behold, Joel 3 starting at verse 1. For behold, in those days, in that time, when I shall bring against the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem is talking about the nation of Israel, will be brought first by hearing this gospel, man. If you hear this gospel, then you are free. You see, if you hear this gospel, then you are free. You have received the kingdom of heaven. That's why the scripture telling you the kingdom of heaven is within you. You can't observe the kingdom of heaven. This is the kingdom of heaven coming. No. If you hear the true gospel, especially from the DMS, from the apostle of DMS and the brothers on dime, you have received the kingdom of heaven, man. I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down in the valley of Jehoshaphat, Yahweh-Shaphat, man, which means judgment. I will plead with them. What is the meaning of pleading, man? Judgment. You see? They are for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations, parted my land, and they have cast lot for my people, and have given a boy for an harlot, and sold a girl for wine, that they might drink. This is going to a slavery, man. The Lord haven't forgotten about slavery, man. Esau is telling you, let's move on. It's all in the past, but the scripture tells you the Lord haven't forgotten about slavery. That's why he is gathering them there into the valley of Yehoshaphat to produce them face to face, man. And that is a fearful thing. The Lord to produce you face to face, man. Joel 3 and 4, yeah. And what have you do with me, O Tyrians, I don't, or the coast of Palestine? That's why it is getting ugly then in Palestine. I saw a video yesterday, man. There was fire. Fire. Palestine was burning with fire, man. I saw a video yesterday. I didn't do a lesson about that, but fire was literally burning there in Palestine. This Israeli are bombing Palestine on a daily basis, man, from morning to evening, morning to evening. So the people in Palestine there, they are not living good, man. And will you render me a recompense? And if you recompense me swiftly and speedily, I will return your recompense upon your own head. Because you have taken my silver and my gold. Who are the silver and gold of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, man? The nation of Israel, man. And have carried into your temples my goods, present things. The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have we sold into the Grecian. Who are the Grecian, man? The Edomite, that you might remove them from far from their borders, man. Behold, I will raise them out of their place which you have sold them, and I will return your recompense upon your own head. So this is a time in which the Lord is about to recompense these nations. Man. Well, how do you know that? The nation of Israel is rising up, man. And we have come to the true knowledge and understanding of who we are. And the collective breakdown of the scripture. Let's go. Verse 8. I will sell your son, your daughter, in the hand of the children of Judah. They shall sell them to the Sabian, to a people far off, for the Lord has spoken it, man. This is after ww3, man. Let's go to verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men, let all men of war draw near, let them come up. Man. Beat your plowshare into swords, and your pruning hook into spear. Let the weak say, I am strong. Beat your plowshare into swords, and your pruning hook into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Who is the weak, man? This other nation whose their blessing is not the sword, like the Moabite. The Moabite, their blessing is not the sword. The Moabite, back then it was a nation of peasants. And the Korean and the Japanese, their nation were peasants. Those were peasants, man. After a long and severe oppression by Esau, they decided to turn their pruning hook into swords, man. They decided to live that peasant lifestyle because they perceived that if they don't do that, Esau Edom will finish them, man. Because Esau Edom is the devil the Bible speaks of, man. If you are not careful, Esau Edom will kill all of your race, man. So this Moabite and this Chinese, they decided to turn their plowshare into sword, man. Their pruning hook into spear. Because this nation, their blessing was not the sword, man. This nation were peasants. They dwelt in safety, man. They established their own civilization. You see? But Esau forced them to turn into nations with these swords, hot as a sword, man. Nuclear weapon, man. Verse 11. Assemble yourself, come, all ye heathen, and gather yourself together round about hither, cause the mighty one to come down, O Lord. These verses are powerful, man. If you read with the spirit, let's repeat verse 11. Assemble yourself and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourself together round about hither, cause the mighty one to come down, O Lord. So this is the Lord himself speaking through his prophet Joel, man. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Yehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye the sick, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full. The fat overflow, for their wickedness is great. Verse 14, that's a beautiful verse, man. Multitude, multitude in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. Multitude, multitude in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision. The sun and the moon shall be darkened, and the stars shall withdraw their shining. The Lord also shall lower out of Zion and utter his voice from Jerusalem, and the heaven and the earth shall shake, but the Lord will be the hope of his people and the strength of the children of Israel. You see? Up until now, you should be afraid of the Lord, man. If you use your common sense. If you don't use your common sense, we keep on scoffing, man. This verse is self-explanatory, man. First of all, you need to understand the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, is a pure Negro, man. He have a Negro-like mindset, man. So he is about to spook this nation, man, in a style, in a magnificent style, man. Let's go to verse. Let's go to verse 19. Egypt shall be a desolation, Edom shall be a desolation wilderness, for the violence against the children of Judah, because they have shed innocent blood in their land. That's it, man. So I hope you brothers have learned something. See, a major prophecy is about to happen, man. Amen. Pray that when the ark closes, man, you are inside the ark. If the ark closes, you are outside, man. You will have to experience this so-called nuclear winter, man. It will be ugly out here, man. So pray, you brothers should pray, man. The ark closes, you are inside. That's the biggest fear the member of the elect have right now, man. The ark closing while you're outside. And we don't know, man. We don't know how the Lord will get down, man. The Lord can root out your ass, man, at any time. That's the Lord, man. We call him, we call the Lord. Here in Tanzania, we should understand up until now, the Bantu language is a branch of Semitic language. It's a mixture of Phoenician language and the Arab language, man. So there are words in Bantu which resemble Hebrew, man, like El Shaddai, Adonai. Those names are like that in the Bantu language, man. Malak. Even the Bantu here have their songs they sing. El Shaddai. As they continue, as they come again, Adonai. Who is El Shaddai? Allah Shaddai, the Almighty, man. Even the band to hear this Canaanite know about Allah Shaddai, and Adonai. So I will close with that. I hope you brothers are edified. On to the next. Shalom.